What am I fixing today? Today I'm fixing a 2015 Nissan Altima SV handle. I have to replace this because it's the only one that has a plastic button in it that doesn't work. So because this plastic button doesn't work here, I have to replace this whole assembly. Now, I've never done this, so we are going to tackle it together today. Let's see. Usually there's something behind here you have to pull out. To get this door off. Let's see here. See? Right there. So it popped off. So you see that screw right there? Let's see. There's usually another one here somewhere that you have to pop out. Let's see if it's underneath here. I know that's probably for the handle, but there's usually one in here that has a screw held to it. Let's see. Now, what you will need is several little pry bars, which in this case I have a couple different ones, and you need a trim, something to pop the trim off as well. So just go underneath it, pop it up. Should come up pretty easy. Yeah, see, there it goes. Once we get this thing out of here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, I've never done one of these, but I could be wrong. Just don't tell my wife I said I could be wrong, because then she will definitely jump on that bandwagon. Yeah, so see, there's actually a screw right here that needs to come off. That before I can even pop the door off. So that is either a Phillips or a 10mm, it appears. So as you will see, I'm going to catch my sockets that are going to fall apart, fall down there. So I'm going to use a number 10, and there it is. Now you can use a Phillips head as well, but I always like the comfort of 5 points on a socket, so you don't strip that head out. This again. I apologize. Like I said, I am new to this thing, and I'm changing this out. As you will see, you will learn from me. I like to do all the things myself. So I'm going to take off this screw. There you go. And then now I have this trim tool right here. I'm going to take it along the edge here and pop it out. Sometimes you can just pull it out, which I might have to do first at the bottom. So grab at the bottom, hold your door, gently pop out, and you hear it pop as it comes out. Now this will all have to come off. Now you want to make sure that you got everything out, because this all has to come out. And then there's going to be some wires connected back here. that just popped out. Now, what's holding me on here? Alright, I'm gonna pause this again. Alright guys, so remember I was having trouble getting that off, so I found that this piece of trim right here also pops off, and if you look, there's a screw back in there, right in here. Oh, sorry. Right in there. Alright, so now, since I have this off right here, I'm just going to take this little wire connector off and push in and pull out. And then I'm going to take my socket again and go right here. Take that screw out. And then my door should come off. So now, let's see if that does it. Aha, look how easy that was. Now when you do it, make sure you're careful because there's some things back here you have to pop up and take out. I'm just lifting up on them, and then you just pop them out, because when you put it back, you'll have to put those back in. So now let's undo this one. Boom. Oh, there's one more down there at the bottom for the light. Go figure, say. But let me see here. I'm going to turn on this side. And I'm going to take my little handy dandy pick and get this one, because this one is in there. Looks like pretty decent. Oh, maybe I'll just pop this whole light out here. Let's see. No. See, so how that popped out? It's not very easy, to be honest. I've had easier ones to come off, but now I just pushed it back in. So you push down on that, pull it out, and then pull this light back in here and pull this whole thing out if it wants to come out. I don't know if it wants to come out though. It might. There it goes. Alright, so now my door is free, as you will see. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, where we have to get to is back here. So you're just gently going to pull this down. You don't want to rip it. It should come off pretty easily, unless it's hot out. And you want to just get enough room. So if you look back in there, right here's my handle that I need to replace. Right here's the wire that's connected. Alright. So I'm just going to unplug this thing. So if you take a pair of needle nose, which I did not bring out with me, but you see this little white clip right here? You push on one on each side, you should be able to pull that out. So I'm going to pause that. Alright everybody, I am back. I had to get a pair of needle nose. So I'm going to reach in here, squeeze this little tab right here. And once I get it out, I'll show you what I was talking about. So if you see that tab right here, I squeezed those two sides and pulled it down. So now I'm going to take this down a little bit more, just be gentle. So I'm going to follow this wire up. I'm going to disconnect it from the connector. Some of these can be a pain, it looks like. I'm going to have to shine some light on this situation. Hold on. See where the tab is on here? It's probably on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little easier. So actually the tab is back here, on this back side, if you see. I'm just old and blind, so forgive me. Alright, so now it looks like we got that hooked up. So let's go, if you look back in here, I'm not sure if you guys can see this yet, but I will have to undo that thing right there so my handle can come off. Or I can do it down here if you see one of those 2 points. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So it should just pop up like that, and this comes out. So now, I believe I got all that. So now, over here, there's another screw. Behind that thing, if you look in there, oh, it's a star screw, so you're gonna want a star bit. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So I have some different types here because I'm not sure which size I need yet. Let's see. So I'm going to try this little bad boy right here. Let's see if that's it. And then you can drop it in the bottom of your thing like I just did. If you're looking for slick, you know, professional, you know, stuff, I may not be that guy because as you just saw, I lost my socket in my door. So now I will have to get a magnet to retrieve that when I'm complete. So, lucky for you, I have a backup. I have this bad boy. We'll try this one and see if that works. So, that is a T30. Now that I know the size, you will see I have this handy dandy set right here, and I'm going to look for a T30, which is here. And I have this tool which holds it, and now I can put it in my drill and let it do all the work for me. I am a man of simplicity and believe in power tools. However, that screw looks like it has a tab on it that holds it in place. So now let's see if I can pull this bad boy out, which is your lockingism. Look at that. See how I pulled that right out? So now, in theory, this should slide forward. Look at that. So that slid forward. See that? Now, I'm going to get the new one. And it should slide right in there, the way this one came out. So what I'm going to do is put that in there first, right? And then looked like I had to do it like this to get it in there, and like this. Let's see, let's push this back in there because it looked like it popped out. So now, as you'll see, I have to slide this in here, but it has to go. So that just slid back. Now you see how I did that? So I popped that in. So now I make room for my socket or my lock, right? So now we can go ahead and just tighten that bolt up over there because we shouldn't need that thing to come out again. There. So there you go. So now I got that in there. Let's go ahead and put that plug in so I don't forget. Now let's go back in here because we have to hook up all these things we took apart in here. So if you can see in here, without my fat hands in here, let's see if we can get some light in here. So if you see that little yellow thing in there, I can't see because this is my first video, sorry guys. So if you see up in there, that little yellow clip right there, I gotta put this thing in here. So I'm gonna slide that in that hole. See that hole right there? The one I'm covering up with my fingers. So I'm gonna put that in here. See how the slid in there? And then I'm gonna slide. See how I slide that? Pop that on. Boom, done. Alright, now let me put this thing back on my head. I apologize because this is my first one. I will get better at this stuff, I promise. So now, if you remember, we took this out of here. I don't know if you can see that. Alright, so now we're going to connect this connector here. Now we're going to pop this up in there. See how that stayed in there like that? Look at that. So now we are good to go on that aspect. Now, here's the question now. If you remember, I dropped my socket in here. Now I got to figure out where that bad boy is so I can get it. This flashlight has a magnet on it, and if I'm lucky, it will get it, but I'm not so lucky right now. So now I got to go in there and get a magnet and see if I can pull that thing out. So I'm going to pause you again. Alright guys, I am back. I have a magnet. I'm going to try to find this socket that I lost in here. Right there it is. Look, first sweep. Boom. Thank you. So now, as you can tell, I'm not a professional that does this. I just like to fix things and learn. So if I can teach you, it's a win-win situation, right? So now we have all that done. We want to make sure we put our wind damper plastic back up. It should just stick right back on. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't do this for a living. But if you can learn a few things and I can teach you, I'm willing to help you because I'm learning with you. So, alrighty. So now, I believe we did that in there. So now we got to bring our door handle back over here and put this thing back on. But if you remember, we took those things out of here. So now we got to put all that stuff back. Alright, so we're gonna do this one first since it goes right in there like that, right? And then boom. So then it pops in here, back here like this. So now that should open the door. This one right here, if you see, it pops in there like that, right? And then that one pops back in there. So there you go. Now we want to feed our wires through here. But before we do that, we want to connect this light on down here. The one that was a pain in the butt. So now, just pop that back in there. Or if it wants to pop out, take it out and do it. Which apparently is how mine's going to play this game today. So, there you go. Pop that out. Put that in there like that. There, done. Now, we need to get all these wires back in here where they go. And if you remember, we could disconnect some wires back here. So, we'll do this one. Right, and then these two are going to go in here. Right. And then if you remember, we lifted up on this door, so now we're going to slide it back down the groove. All right, and then so that screw hole lines up there, that screw hole lines up there. So now we just want to gently pop this back in. You can hear it pop. There you go. So now, one of these wires right here, these go to this control panel. All right. So there you go. There you go. But now, all right. Sorry guys, my GoPro died on me, and I had to go get another battery out, so I am sorry. So now we are back to finish this up. So we're going to start putting these screws back in. All right, remember we had these screws here, but this one I think goes down here. You gotta remember where they go, because there definitely are two different screws, by the way, just FYI. Let's see, here's my socket, my handy dandy 10mm. So we're gonna screw this one in. Screw this one in. And then this one right here. Now we need to slap these things back in here. So this is probably gonna be the tough part here, because it goes in there like that. All right. So it pops down in here. I would test it. Unlock it. Yep, unlocks. That's a good thing, right? So just lock it, see what it says? Alright, so it locks. Alright, so now let's slap this trim piece back on. Alright. So just give it a good bump with the back of the hand. And you got this little one right here, and that goes back in here like this. Again guys, I don't work on this for a living. I don't do this kind of stuff for a living, but if I can do this, so can you. It just, if I can help you with something, I will be glad to help you with it. And there we go. And that's it. So, thank you. Until the next video, thank you.